Hello, everyone, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that's very close right now, and it is COVID-19. The reason I chose COVID-19 to be my topic of choice is because it's currently like a world pandemic, and the media is going crazy right now with what to do with it, how to handle it, and right now we're just hoping that we can get to an end of it. But I'm going to be doing something a little different with it today. But first, we do need to know, like, the beginning of the chaos, which began in March of 2020. It was known earlier to be existing in 2019 and the December months. Because of that, no one really took it that seriously. Everyone thought it was just a joke, like it was just the flu. But then it ended up being something a little bit more than that. It started infecting people rapidly, and people were getting sick, hospitalized, on ventilators, and no one really knew what to do with it at that point. But then the departments of science have decided to create a vaccine. Now, the vaccines the first doses were tested for the feedback to see if anyone would have any reactions, any illnesses, or perhaps even a mortality rate would even have it from the trials. But those trials began to show progress in the late January of 2020. They were saying that it was possibly going to be this was going to be the quickest vaccine to ever roll out and ever be made, which was short because it came in about 9 to 12 months, which typically vaccines take about a year, like year or 2 years to even be considered developed and fully developed. And with the growth of variants coming along, we don't know how these vaccination companies are going to be able to deal with it and to see how they're going to be able to conquer COVID-19 as a whole. But multiple businesses have decided to create their own variant of the vaccine. Now, currently there are 3 known people who have created the vaccine, and those businesses are Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, and Moderna. The Johnson & Johnson, as in lately news, have seen quite an upset, seeing as now they have had blood clots that have shown to kind of set back the progress of that specific vaccination. Because you don't want more people getting sick, and those who are taking the vaccine have already been given a warning to be on the lookout for any side effects that they could have, that they should probably report back to Johnson & Johnson to see where they went wrong, how they can fix it, and how to make it overall better. It is a 1-dose vaccine, so it is a little bit different than both the Pfizer and the Moderna ones. Those ones are a quick sample of 1 shot. You're going to need to go after 2 weeks to get your second shot of that specific vaccine in general. With the vaccine, they hope that they will be able to make it a 2-dose vaccine and potentially in the later months make it just a booster shot like you get for the flu every year. As you know, for the flu you get your flu shot, and for that year, I guess, you are protected from the flu and its side effects, and you're less likely to get it. With the Pfizer and Moderna, it's basically the same thing. You're going to get your first shot, wait your 2 weeks, get your second shot, and then you have to wait 2 weeks for your vaccine to fully run through your body. Now, what's different about these vaccines is that they use the mRNA in our bodies. And because of that, it's kind of changing our genetic code to make sure that we're used to the vaccine and that we are able to fight it off better, basically better than the flu shot. Beginning in March 2021, the vaccine started being administered. They were very skeptical on who should get it first. They began to give it to the older patients as they were at higher risk, and they were more susceptible to the symptoms of it and being put on ventilators, which was not the big idea of the vaccine. The deal of the vaccine is that you get it, you're done. The higher risk patients, such as people with asthma or pre-existing health conditions, they were also next to get the vaccines. And then a little bit later on, eventually we get to adults, people with high BMIs. So then those restrictions kind of started to get lifted on the vaccine rates. They started to become rolled out more consistently, and more people were, and as it becomes available, now we have walk-in appointments that you can just get a vaccine. And then there is the Biden administration. Biden's promise was to get over 10 million doses of the vaccine, which he was able to do in his first 100 days of office, so good things to him. And hope that his administration can fulfill their promise, which is to end the pandemic. If they end the pandemic, we can hopefully go back to a normal life. But, of course, we still have to do some things like wear a mask. The mask policies are being lifted in certain areas, such as like Texas, California, where they're easing up on their mask restrictions, but they kind of need to start reinforcing those just a little bit, because we're not going to be this if we're not going to all work together as one unit. They also say that masks should still be worn, as I just said, because you're still at risk of getting getting COVID. Even if you are protected from it, the side effects might be worse, but we have to get full 100% control of this virus. And end it all off, we can beat this. That's the main thing. We can beat this as a whole if we just get vaccinated, wear our masks, and just start, taking care of ourselves better. Thank you.